Nick Bosa is beating Trent Williams a lot of the time. Trent Williams had a big reaction after a move the ball period that was dominated by Nick Bosa, and Trent Williams came off the field and was exasperated. Like, you could just tell that he was frustrated.
This is the most I've seen Bosa practice, but I think he and Trent have gotten the message from, whether it's Kyle Shanahan, they kind of want these guys on the field more. I think Greg Joseph, I've been leaning this way, as you know. I think Greg Joseph is my bet on who's going to win this contest. We'll see how, obviously we have to see how it plays out, but I think he kicks a pretty nice long ball. I mean, he's been known for that, kicking 50-yarders. Moody has a very strong leg. I'm not saying that he has looked bad, but I would thought that Moody's primary advantage would be the 50-yarders at 50 plus. And I think Joseph, and what I've seen, the ball it comes off his foot very nicely on 50-yarders.
Yeah, what I do is, there's always a staffer who goes back there and is assigned to kind of catch the ball. There's no net in practice. So if that guy doesn't move off of his mark or moves very, a short distance, then that's usually good. If the guy's having to hustle over from one side to the other, then it's probably a miss. So, yeah, I think that both went 4 for 4, and that would mean that they're both 14 for 16 through 4 practices where they kick. They don't usually kick when the 49ers are on that far field. They don't want them kicking every day, I guess. That would be bad if one or both of them got hurt. But yeah, so I mean, it's tight so far. It's impossible to call. I thought that might be the case, and that it might come down to preseason games.
Yep.
And I think it's interesting that the final preseason game is in Las Vegas. And Jake Moody has a very interesting history there. He missed, I think, all of his attempts there in the preseason 2 years ago when he was a rookie. And then, of course, played in the Super Bowl there, had some great kicks from 50 plus yards, in the spotlight kicks. Doesn't get any more pressure filled than that, but then also missed an extra point in a game that went to overtime. So, wouldn't it be interesting if it comes down to that final preseason game and Jake Moody gets called in at the end of the game to make a long kick to beat the hated Raiders in the preseason? But it would be something to watch, and something to watch in the second half of a preseason game. So there could be some drama this August.
I think I'm going. I wasn't going to go. I'm going to go. It was going to come down to that. I got to document this one. I got to document the warm-ups for sure.
Yes.
The warm-ups.
Yes.
And absolutely, I got to document how that goes,
and body language and all that stuff.
It started in Vegas. It absolutely did. I think he hooked one left, if I remember correctly, in the preseason game, and then pushed one right as he was trying to correct that. And that's when things started getting a little askew. And I think he got dinged up a little bit in that preseason. And was he going to be healthy enough? They had another kicker there. If he kicks great in the preseason and including and finishes off in Vegas, then Jake Moody is very likely to keep this job. I just don't know if that's going to happen. And I think the pressure's on. It's very interesting to see. I might keep writing. I might just keep writing kickers, Barrows. It's kickers. That's what the public wants. It was very interesting. We can see those, at least. We can see those drills, Barrows. That's a pretty large step this season. We'll see. I don't want to complain, but if it sounds like we're seeing some of this stuff less clearly than before, it's because we are. We are not seeing these plays as clearly as we would.
Yeah, and I'm not sure why that needs to be. I mean, there does seem to be, spaces for us to be, and we're just being kind of placed in the unenviable places. I'm hoping. I mean, I'm not going to raise a stink yet, but I'm not going to be. You were very uncharacteristically accepting of that just now. It's like, if that happens, that happens, but I'm not going to go down without a fight here.
Well, I will do it quietly. I'm not going to do it on the podcast is what I mean to say. I don't want to, people hate when the media whines. They would love to, be watching those practices.
Yeah, but this affects them too.
No question. I will state that we see it less clearly. There's no question that we see it less clearly. I will happily talk about it to through the right channels. I just don't want to be whining about it on a podcast. That's what I don't mind mentioning it. I just don't want to belabor that. If you want to belabor that, Barrows, please be my guest. I just want to make it clear we are seeing it worse. There's no question about it, and that makes our view and our knowledge less about this team. And it's what I love about training camp. I've said this before. What I love about training camp, it is open for the media, and we can see practice. We can see who's good, who's rising, who's struggling, who's getting it, who's not getting it. I think a lot of us would not really know at all why Trey Lance, that whole thing failed if we weren't at training camp. We saw it in training camp. He was not picking things up. We were all nice about it, and we didn't want to bang him. But in his second season, it was not happening. It was just not happening. He started the season, but then he got hurt and he got pulled, and he never made it back because he wasn't very good. And a lot of that information is because we just saw it. So, well, we'll see how it goes. I just want to make sure people realize when we cannot identify players, if you get mad at me for not knowing who the cornerback was or who exactly was, running what route, it's because we can't see. And hopefully we will be able to maybe have better angles in the future. We'll see. Other than us complaining about that, Barrows, what else you got?
Well, to that end, to the point of being able to watch training camp and being able to relay information, it seems to me like there's always someone who jumps out and is having, the best camp of anybody. And 2 years ago, that was Brandon Ayuk. Looked very good every day of training camp, just very consistent, good, focused training camp. Last year, it was Deommodore Lenoir, I thought, was the standout in training camp. And this year, way too soon to say who the winner is, but there are some contenders. And you touched on this on social media. I think Nick Bosa is up there because, somebody at Nick Bosa's level, you might see him, play a few snaps here and there. He gets 1 or 2 reps in one-on-one drills, but he's been on the field quite a bit.
Yep.
And when he's on the field, Brock Purdy is tormented, and Brock Purdy isn't as good. And there's a clear relationship there. And Nick Bosa is beating Trent Williams a lot of the time. And Trent Williams yesterday had a big reaction after a move the ball period that was dominated by Nick Bosa, and the offense was thwarted by Nick Bosa. And Trent Williams came off the field and, was exasperated, like banged his thigh, and you could just tell that he was frustrated. I think that's, I think that's great for this team. I think that's going to push Trent Williams to get better and better throughout training camp, and he's going to be Trent Williams by the time that September rolls around. But I hate to use the iron sharpens iron, but that's definitely happening in this camp. And so he's one of my candidates early on. And then D. Winters, to me, is another candidate. He makes a play every practice. And he makes it in the running game, and he makes it in the passing game, especially the passing game. I went over and I watched the linebackers against the running backs and the tight ends, and that's a tough call for a linebacker. 1-on-1, there's nobody else there. You don't have any help. They lose 90% of the time. Fred Warner loses. Everybody loses. Well, Christian McCaffrey versus D. Winters today. D. Winters won that matchup, so, and it's not against Corey Kiner, the undrafted rookie. It's against Christian McCaffrey, who also has looked good, isn't getting a ton of snaps. So he's probably not going to win the award. I just want to say that right now, but it's not a reason.
D. Winters family, don't be prepared.
Yeah, exactly. Not a reason not to take him in your fantasy league. I think they're just doing it for preservation's sake. But so those two guys have stood out to me. CJ West is standing out. Evan Anderson, he's a
How could he not? How could he not stand out?
He had the best rep in that one-on-one drill today, where he just blasted. I think it was Connor Colby, the rookie guard, was on roller skates, and that was impressive. That was very impressive. And those two guys are cut from the same cloth. Evan Anderson and CJ West. Same profile. They're not very tall. They're wide. They're powerful. They get underneath the opponent's pads, and they back these guys up. And so the step for both of them, this is what I guess it was Sala was saying yesterday, is that, okay, now you need to build on that power and get the, that quickness and the quick step and the footwork going, and then we're going to have something.
Surprised you were watching them. They're usually at that linebackers, running backs, tight ends. You're there, Sala's DBs versus receivers, and I'm offensive lineman versus D. Like, we have this covered, us three, the big three, Sala, you, and me. I'll just say, noting Bosa, who was practicing. I couldn't believe how much 97 was out on the field in team drills. It was just flying around out there. And maybe it was a sign of it because early in the one-on-one drills, he took one one-on-one rep versus McKivitz, beat him bad, took another, I think they were trying to double it up, and stumbled. So then he requested a third. You rarely see 3 straight reps, one guy versus the other, and it's Nick Bosa against Colton McKivitz, and that one was a tie. So McKivitz kind of, he hung in there against Nick Bosa when Bosa was really, really locked in today. So I think that's impressive by McKivitz. I think, someone said, like, he's better. He's a better tackle right now, certainly, than he was 2 years ago, maybe better than he was last year. And it only helps you, as to the Bears always points out, you practice against the best, you're going to get better. You practice against Bosa, you're going to get better. Maybe you get beat by Bosa. So do a lot of people. Then just figure out how to stay in there with Nick Bosa. And this is the most I've seen Bosa practice, I think, in a training camp. It's early. Maybe he skips the rest of the way. I'm not sure. But I think he and Trent have gotten the message from, whether it's Kyle Shanahan or their position coaches or John Lynch. They kind of want these guys on the field more. Didn't have Trent at all last year, didn't have Bosa at all the year before because they signed so late in the respective years. They've also usually kind of gone 1-on-1 off, maybe, right? I mean, it's 2-on-1 off now, 2-on-1 off. So you're practicing 2/3 of the time. And this time it was both padded practices, both of them. I don't know whether Bosa's 2-on-1 off. I know I've heard Trent's 2-on-1 off, and makes sense. That's a lot. That's a lot of practices. It's a lot of times going up against each other. And I've written it and I've talked about, this Trent versus Bosa. And sometimes we hardly ever get it in camp because they're just not practicing on the same day. Makes sense. You want to save the bullets. These guys don't have a million times where they can take reps because you want them fresh in the season. But I think there's definitely a motivation to have the top line guys out there more this camp. They might get hurt. Maybe it's a bad thing. But so far, it's been a very interesting thing. And I think it does lead you to, they know that their foot was off the pedal a little bit last year for a lot of different reasons. And they want it back down. They want to floor it right now.